What's happening? You got the Retro Game Hippie coming at you again yet today with yet another pickup video of items I've gotten from Facebook Marketplace, eBay, thrift stores, garage sales, you name it. Things I like to put in my collection that I'm going to keep or maybe take to a trade show later on down the way. Now, this particular video only has items from two places. Goodwill, which is the local thrift store I have, which is hard to find things, but if you diversify, you can. And one amazing estate sale that just kept on giving. So I got a lot of stuff to go through. I'll try to get through it quick. Bear with me as I kind of shift the camera around a little bit as I got things spread out everywhere, and I try to show you all the awesome stuff I found. So we're going to start off with Goodwill, and you know, everybody knows Goodwill sends a lot of stuff to a website, so it's kind of hard to find any really good collectibles like we like nowadays. But, you know, I will, like I say, diversify and really broaden my range. And so I did that with two items from Mario Kart DS, right around 2010-ish, I think. It's a big sheet that is a flat sheet, and then it had its fitted sheet along with it. In good shape, good graphics, no major tears. These were both 99 cents each, so a couple bucks there for those sheets. Then this is also more modern. I don't know exactly what this is supposed to be. It's a big stuffed animal of Mario from, I think, the movie. It's got straps on the back like a backpack, and it's got a very small zipper where you could put a little bit of items in. So honestly, I don't know what it is, but it's a pretty cool Mario thing. I guess you could take him with you and he can fly like he's playing the game, but that's kind of neat. Go to the VHS, got a little Dragon Ball Z anime, not my bag, but I know somebody will enjoy that. I am a football fan from the 80s. My favorite team was the 49ers, so here's a little 49ers drinking glass, and judging by the logo, I would say that that is probably mid-late 80s to early 90s. 99 cents on the glass, 99 cents on the VHS, $3.99 on the Super Mario plushie. And then it's all complete and in okay shape, but a Carmen Sandiego, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego board game for $3.99. And last but not least, for $1.99, that's a little much for really what they are, but they're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle storybooks, and they are in pretty good shape, I would say. No major tears are written in them, and it's two of the same ones. So just really good trade fodder, and those are items I got from my local Goodwill. Next up was an estate sale that I hit. Now, this was advertised locally, just like a mile away from where I live, in a relatively small town. It had a start time of 8 o'clock, and it listed vintage toys and a couple of things that kind of piqued my interest. Not video games. The photos were not the best. The only thing you could really see that looked up my alley were some models of sports cars, which really wouldn't be my thing. But I thought, well, where's that? There could be more. So I planned, get there about 8 o'clock when it started. It's, not going to be a lot of people that I have to worry about here. So I did. And when I got there, I went in and I saw the table that had some toys and stuff. And I'll show you the first few things I got right away. Now, there were a few other garage sales that were starting at 9 a.m., so it was an hour later around the area. So I planned to spend a little bit of time there. So the first few little toys I did see on the table that I did pick up were, first off, a Star Trek Mego Klingon. The packaging, it's torn and everything. I love the Mego toys. I've had Star Trek ones in the past. I really need to just keep them, and now I think this tells me I should. He's complete. He looks good. I know, like I said, the package is not good. I'll take him right off of there, and I'll play with him just as if he was a brand new toy off the card. And then in honor of Mr. Blonde, Michael Madsen, a little Reservoir Dogs figure. Again, package ripped and everything. So I'll just pull him right out of there and take a look at it. Unfortunately, Michael Madsen just passed away. I saw Reservoir Dogs back in 1992 when it first came out. Awesome film. I love the soundtrack. Michael Madsen, Mr. Blonde from that. And last thing that was really on the table that I picked up right away and just put in a pile was a yo-yo of the Joker. I believe these are the mid-'80s is when these came out. They did all sorts of different varieties of it, and I will get to that in just a minute, but this is a Joker one. Really cool. I love the Joker. So while I was there kind of looking around, I did see a couple of local folks that I've ran into before that they're really into resale and collecting. They always cut me really good deals. They're really great. They're more into books. And the guy said, man, you just missed it. About an hour ago, because evidently he showed up an hour before it started and they let him in. A guy scooped up a ton of video game stuff for like $200 because this was a really good sale. As a matter of fact, those items I showed you came from it. The rest of it I'm going to show you also came from it. All in total, I paid $260 for everything I'm going to show you, starting off with those figures and that yo-yo and stuff that I just showed you there. But evidently, I missed out on a really good deal. But I had a lot of time to kill there, and I did that, and I'm looking to diversify. So I went really digging around. We got books. We got merchandise stuff. Let's get looking at it and let's dig into it. So $260 is what I paid for all the stuff, starting off with the figures and going from there. First up is this little Sega Genesis adapter. Somehow the video game guy didn't see this because this was off in a garage that the lady let us look into a little bit later. Now, evidently, this lets you change your Genesis to be rapid fire, pro mode, a lot of different modes. I'd never heard about it before. I was really intrigued that it was made by Tyco, who's really known for race cars, electric slot cars. They also did Dino Riders. So this was actually set off to the side. Let me jump back to that really quick because a lot of this stuff came from a side area that originally wasn't open to everybody, but my friend and we were talking to the lady that was running it, having conversations. They were semi-local. Anyway, long story short, they said, you know, we got some other stuff on the other side, mainly books on shelves, but if you guys want to go look there, we'll let you do that. They also had something sitting on the side that I inquired about, and I'll show you this really quick. I wish it wasn't Disney. It's probably from the 80s, but it's a toy box in okay shape, so I went ahead and grabbed that. Good thing I did, so I could store all this stuff in it. But it's a toy box. The graphics are good, but it's a little beat up. It'd been used, and that's expected. So in that side here, let's jump into all the toys. We'll try to go Simpsons first on the toy-wise. A little play and display Simpsons baseball. My nieces and nephews are both big Simpsons fans. They have been since they were kids. So I get a lot of Simpsons stuff that I will usually pass on to them. A couple of Simpsons dolls, Bart, Stuffy, and a Bart short one. There is a Lisa that I need to go back and get, actually. I think they left it there on accident. Some sealed stuff, not really my bag, but I'll get it because people like it. A sealed video game, PlayStation 2's Greatest Hits Pac-Land. It is factory sealed, and a lot of times you can tell on the PlayStation because of that silver tabish right there. Because places that I used to work for, like Blockbuster Video and Hollywood Video, we would reseal games, shrink wrap stuff to sell it or even for display. So if it has that silver tab is generally when you'll know it's officially a sealed game. Just like this VHS of a great movie, Good Morning Vietnam, sealed on the bottom. Probably doesn't have a great amount of value. I really don't care. I don't look stuff up. I just know that somebody likes sealed stuff. You know, I can trade that or pass it off down the line. Wrapped up in paper back there, just in a bag for some reason. A little too new for me, but there were two of these DSs. One being blue like this. No cords or anything. Battery compartments look good and they're in good shape. The other one was a teal one, which I actually traded to my friend that I was talking about that I ran into there for some items that he had picked up. And I'll show you one of those items now. That is probably the awesome piece, I think. Same Joker yo-yo, but look at that. It's Freddy Krueger. I mean, of course, why wouldn't you want a yo-yo of Freddy Krueger? Now, there wasn't just one. There was actually four. But my friend kept one because he had snagged him first and put him in his pile. But we traded. He gave me three, and I gave him the DS. And there were some other things we kind of traded. I'll show you one more item when I get to the book section here, but that was one of them. Fun toy from the 90s, the Bop It, kind of like the Simon of their era. A little Pokemon Pokedex. I don't know much about it. It's a handheld Tiger Electric game, I guess, of Pokemon. But whenever I see Pokemon, I've got some Pokemon items. I know it's popular. People love it. I will always snag it. Another little handheld Name That Tune game. I think it would be kind of fun just to put some batteries in and play it. Batteries compartments on these are great, and they do work. I put batteries in them already. And one more little thing there from the miscellaneous stuff was a little joystick, probably for an Atari or Commodore or even Genesis that might fit. But honestly, I think this was made for an Atari, the Epix 500J. I haven't tested that yet. And now we'll get over to the book stuff. Like I said, I'm not really a book guy, but I'll get certain genres of things I like, or I'll diversify into things I think I can turn into trade or profit or to help me buy other things. So my guilty pleasure of a movie, storybook, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. 1991, this thing came out. I dressed up as Robin Hood that Halloween. I was dating this lady who was a lot older than me. I love this movie. It's my guilty pleasure. What's really cool in the front of this, it has this photo of Kevin Costner in it. But love me that movie. A sealed pack of cassette tapes from Disneyland stuff. I mean, it's sealed. there in plastic. A guide for Carmageddon 2 game guide. There's 2 of these Peter Pan pop-up books. These, I think, were from the 2000s, mid-2000s, but they're really cool. Very, very elaborate in their design. But these pop-up books are really cool. And there's 2 of those I snagged into my pile. More the 80s for me, from like 1984, 85. Who's Who in rock and roll for MTV, or rock video in this case. And a lot of this was 80s modern rock bands I listened to, such as Duran Duran, Depeche Mode, Missing Persons, etc., and that. Probably one of my favorite bands. I've seen them numerous times all over the country. Seen New York, Las Vegas, Colorado, and Washington, and I'm talking about Phish. And this is the official Phish book that was allowed to be made of them, apparently, when I did a little research. Now, this one, this is one of the items I traded for. I traded a Magic Johnson book for this book because the Magic Johnson book has an autograph of Magic Johnson in it. But this Simpsons book, my niece, I knew would really, really like. But what's really cool about this, and this was quite a few of the books there, not many that I got because my friend, the book guy, was definitely ahead of me, and that's definitely more his thing. But it's autographed by Matt Groening, the guy who made it, and he also did that sketch there of Lisa. And that is, that sketch there of her is just a super cool thing. And so that was in the pile there. A little not safe for kids. I don't think there's any images of it, and they're naked or not, but I had to get it. The Big Book of Porn, so I can become a porn aficionado. Another little game guide for Neverwinter Nights. I've never played it, but I do own it. This is from the late 70s, early 80s, a little offshoot paperback, Han Solo and Chewbacca. I just got these 2 papers that were evidently a media guide on CDs and stuff, it says. I'd never heard of it, but I mean, it really wouldn't be my thing for back then. But I just like that picture of Led Zeppelin on the front. I really haven't opened it up a whole lot. And then there's one of David Bowie. Incidentally, when I saw Phish in Vegas a few years back, they always cover an album somebody they like. And they covered David Bowie's, I can't remember the name of the album off the top of my head now, but they covered a David Bowie album. It was a Space Oddity. And more books. 100 Years of Boxing. I love the graphics, the old school look of that. And you'll see that in some of these books I got. That I kind of just went with this old school look and feel of a book. I'm sure any boxing fan would enjoy a book like that. I'm going to shift these over a little bit and stick it with some more Simpsons. Simpsons comic. More old style book look. Karate. And there were books on Taekwondo, Ninjutsu, things like that my friend ended up taking. Like I say, he's more of the book guy. Star Trek The Next Generation companion piece. Great show. I watched a lot of Star Trek The Next Generation with my old roommate back then. I thought it was a great show. Kid Icarus game guide. A little too new for me, but definitely good trade bait. Here's another one of those pop-up books of Peter Pan. Zelda Skyward Sword Prima guidebook. This is hardcover, which is kind of cool. But I think it came, what it says on the front, if this thing is correct, a cloth map that is not in here, unfortunately. Batman the Killing Joke special edition that came out a little bit later than the original release. But nonetheless, this is a really good comic. I look forward to reading that again. A couple of small, just random comics. I'm not sure where they would have came from the 80s. But, Heathcliff is always cool. And Marvel superheroes. Another strategy guide for World of Warcraft. Frank Miller's Ronin. I've never read it. Frank Miller is a really well-known Batman author. This one's sealed in a bag, so I don't know if this could be signed by Frank Miller. I haven't opened it up to take a look yet, but we'll take a look because a lot of these books were signed. That Simpsons book was signed with an autograph and a drawing in it. And then this old book of Colt firearms that was also signed by the guy that wrote it, James Serverin. I'm not much of a gun guy myself. My dad was. I know a bit about it. But like I said, again, I just like these old books, how they look, how they feel. And it's information that's just really super cool to get. Last 2 things from that sale are really heavy. I'll try my best to show you. And it's really something I don't go after because they're taking up a lot of space. But I thought they'd be kind of a cool thing if once I get out there and find somebody that would want them. But here's the keyboard, first of all. And it's a keyboard for an Apple Power Mac G4 hard drive that looks like this. It weighs like 25 or 30 pounds. I was really, really surprised. I didn't think computers, hard drives would weigh that much. But it's got handles on the side to lift it up. It's probably never been used before. It was in a box. The box that it is in, though, is for a cube version of this. So it's not this one. It doesn't fit in that box. But it still had a lot of plastic and stuff over it. So I doubt it has been used. But it's definitely not something for me. And right behind it was, I'm going to lower the camera down a little bit. In the box still, the monitor there with that big picture on it is a Cinema Display HD by Apple that would have came out right around the same time. So sorry about all that camera mismatch there, but it's hard for me to set up and do all this with an iPhone and a swivel chair. So whew, that was a lot of stuff, all from that one estate sale. Like I said, I was all into it for like $260. Was it 120, 150, like $260 for the computer and all that great stuff there. It was like the estate sale kept on giving. Even though that guy got ahead of me, apparently he called them ahead of time and asked about games and stuff, and they allowed him to come in early. That's a tactic I've never quite used, but I've heard it being done before. I'm not that serious of a collector. More power to him. I found all sorts of great things. My favorite being, of course, the Freddy Krueger yo-yo. That thing is just cool as heck. So, there you have it. Some pickups. A whole lot of stuff for me to get through. Retro Gaming Hippie. Remember, I don't buy nostalgia because I am nostalgia. You all take care.